Well, this is kind of like informal, and it's not no with no bashing or nothing. Okay, and and we're not here to discuss too much on the credibility of the people that was picked for the analysis of impediments to help work on that. Okay, not here to question their integrity, but what is a question is going to be their experience as to how they perceive to do what they're going to be in place to do, and not just a group of people that's going to be handpicked just to come in to meet some kind of agenda. You know, you're going to need all the help you can get. Okay, and I know you realize that you inherited problems because you know everything has always been. No one can expect for you to come in and just wave a magical wand and make things just anticipate and get on the good side. It's going to take time. You know, I had mentioned to you guys I had filed a federal complaint. I did, and I withdrew the complaint. Okay, that don't mean that I'm going to be stopping or slowing down or anything, but the main thing of it is getting people to come together so that we can make some progression in the signs of slum areas. It's not anymore about black and white anymore because of the integration. Okay, it's more said now that it's integrated segregation where a poor man lives in a low-income area. It's not a secret by the good old boy system was here, you know, and how it was operating, and it was created from way back in plantation years, and people established their families, and you can't fault no one for trying to make progression as a family, trying to get them in political positions, trying to get them in controlling positions for the gain of wealth. You can't fault anybody for that. Okay? If I can get my sons and my grandchildren in a high-paying position, well, quite naturally, that's what I would do. But down the road in longevity, in time, decade after decade after decade after decade of placements and placements, somewhere down those lines, sometimes good intentions don't work out so good. And because you got other people going into this city, you know, you got every walk of life in the city, and you got all the maintenance of the city, and everything that comes along with it, you know.
Let me stop you a minute. I want to ask a question. Do you not think the people that have been selected on that committee are the ones that should have been on it, or you think there's some others?
There's some others that I feel that Rhynes should be one that need to be on it, or somebody that's involved, Floyd Rose, or somebody of that nature. That even though people may be of different opinions.
Yeah. Well, the reason we did it like we did because, you know, we asked each councilman to submit a name, and then when it came right down to it, I was to submit a name, and there was no mortgage banker, somebody that knew the ins and outs of low-income loans and things like that, you know, and so I said I picked this guy from the Federal Credit Union. So, you know, that's the way those names came about, and the school board submitted.
Well, I understand it, but the hardcore problem. Let me say this. I said it wasn't a black and white issue, okay? But I have to say this: to be black is to be black, and to know where we come from and the struggle that we've been facing for years and years and years and years, and then look at our communities be the same. This Lowndes County, I lived here in 1963. Come back and visit it time to time. This community looks the same as it did when I lived here way back then. Some old houses, some old rooftops are yet the same. But I can look in other parts of the city and I can see progression, gated communities and this kind of thing. And then I find that the mentality is that everybody want to lay it on the people. Everybody want to lay it on the people. And the issue is there's no money in circulation, and how we going to find that remedy is going to be the main course of the thing. These people that come in, and they'll come in and they'll start with prayer. They get in the middle of, I'm a minister, okay, don't misunderstand me. and we get in the middle of a business meeting, and it'll start with you guys, and they'll come in the middle, and you know, if it wasn't for the Lord, this wouldn't be. I'm not about that. And I'm a minister, okay? See, my reason is because crying and begging and pleading have always been a sentiment of the past. And that's what that refers to when we get in the middle of a business meeting, and then the minister start reverting to prayer and everything in it, because, oh master, please don't do me this way. Please don't sell my family from one from another. This has been a thing that's been following us for decades and years, and it developed a mentality so that the guys get up and they start this sympathizing. No, it's not about sympathizing, it's about business. It's 100% business. We got contractors out there. We got a big bridge coming here. We got contractors that's got the ability, but they're not going to qualify, okay? Because the way the system has been set up and what's done beat them down, and there ain't going to be no way they can meet the criteria, except when you help take down some of the barricades. You going to have to do this. And I don't know how we're going to do it.
Well, of course, we can't. The individual that builds that bridge out there, that overpass, we didn't help whoever does it. We didn't help them.
I understand.
He started himself, and he went out and took the initiative to raise some money. Maybe he sold the bank on a business plan, and he worked hard and he made the money and he built his business. It don't matter how much money you give some people, John. They're not going to be. I mean, you just can't start a man in business unless he's got the ability to run that business.
I understand.
And you have got. Let me tell you something now.
I understand.
You've got a lot of well-known black contractors that can handle those jobs. Now, I don't know, where they are. Or I can't give you names, but Department of Transportation should be getting bids from some of those people.
The problem
Of course, that's the Department of Transportation thing. That's not a local thing.
Oh, I know.
So it doesn't matter what we say about
I know.
it. They took the bids, and
But on the other hand, if we can find some remedy that maybe through this committee, these are the type of issues we're gonna need to be discussed.
oh, I agree. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
And I'm sure those initiatives will be discussed.
How can we help these guys to get arranged so that when they? I was certified by DOT.
Well, let me ask you this: how did you get started?
Be honest with you.
You went out and you worked hard.
Yes, you have to.
And you started, and you had dreams, and you did it on your own. I didn't come help you.
But now let me explain something to you about this. The obstacles that we face, okay, is not being able to. In other words, we have always been able to take nothing and make something out of it.
I applaud that.
Got me?
I applaud
Now, that means eating the chicken's foot, eating the pig's tail, and we're going right down to the bottom brass tack cut. Now we want to get right
Listen,
down
you
to.
speaking to the choir. I grew up on a 50-acre farm.
Well, you know what I'm talking
And we
about.
ate everything off that farm,
Okay.
whether it was cow's tongue,
Okay.
calf's liver,
Okay.
calf's
Well,
feet, everything.
Well.
And my dad worked from 3:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock at
Well,
night.
Well, this what makes you the prime candidate for the job, okay? Because you understand this. And this is what makes it work. And this is why we want to sit down and talk to you, because we want you to be able to spearhead this type of a conversation with these people to understand that we got to try to find some. It's not going to be easy. It's not a question. But it's going to have to, in other words, you want your city, you really want your city to thrive. If these guys was to invest in these guys, in other words, we can get Langdale, we can get Scruggs and Rhynes, instead of this being kind of like a one-sided group, and it says, okay, we get involved in an investment type of situation, but now we're going to need to get the cream of the crop of the guys that would qualify, okay? And I'm not talking about the real bad record guys. And where they could invest back into these people to give them a second chance and an opportunity. It's all the same. And therefore, they would bring this community, you'll bring your whole community alive, man. You have more work going on, you can get more federal grants, there's many things you'll be able to do if we can just get those guys to kind of get behind these guys. Because say, for example, Scruggs and Rhynes has got the money. But, I got Mr. J.C. Cowell before he had passed, okay? and me and him have become pretty good friends. Me and Charles is okay. And I went to Mr. JC. I said, Mr. JC, I know you've never seen me before, and I need to get something from you. And he said, that wasn't $200,000. He said, wow. He said, you got some nerve to come in here and ask me for $200,000. That was strange. Then we got in our conversation. I told him we were working on a project and all that, and I needed a line of credit and whatever. But what it boiled down to was he saw something in our idealism. And he went over to the Park Avenue Bank and he got me a check for $200,000. He didn't fill out my application for anything. He got me a check for $200,000. And we went to Old Ben and we bid on the project. And he said, John, he said, I'm going to trust you with this. He said, now, so many people have left a bitter taste in my mouth until I won't help you good because of the lad. And he made an exception. What I'm saying, if we can get these guys, to make an exception, to help the exception, and kind of team up with through the B.S.A.P. program. It's going to be a whole coordinated effort now that's got to be spearheaded. And I believe if you took the B.S.A.P. program and got these guys involved as for participation, and look at a guy that is in a good position, that do concrete work, do concrete work, plumbing work, and say, well, this guy had a bank problem, this guy had this type of problem, but we got a contract because we're general contractors. We'll give them an opportunity, and we'll then some companies are charging like 3% for bond. Okay, for bonding. If they would charge 3-4% for the bonding of the contract, it's ways they can make it work. So the main thing is these people that you got, that they pick, the question is not questioning their integrity, but their credibility toward getting this job done and working with us in Atlanta. I'm gonna recommend that you get Rhynes on there as far as goes. I don't need to be on. I'm going back and go back to chemotherapy, I believe. Okay. Well, I'm gonna recommend that. And if not, now I'm not gonna be around the bush about it. I'm gonna be straight about it. I withdrew the complaint because I had enough faith to believe that we can make the system work. But if it don't work, I already started with Washington, so I was dialoguing with them, and I'm still dialoguing with them. And I told them that you guys had formulated this committee and this kind of thing, and that everybody's going some effort that they really try to just get something done. The main thing is getting something done. You is a prime person raised up on a farm, understanding what life really is, and this is your city. And you can make it blossom, or you can make it fall.
All right, let's go back to getting Rhynes and Scruggs and Lyndale to help. All right, the first thing that you got to have is you got to have a person for them to believe in.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
You got to have that. I can't go to them and say, look, I need for y'all to help some minority contractors. The first question they're going to ask is who. You know, they want to see that person. They want to hear that person's plan, and they want to make sure that he's willing to put forth the effort. Now, I firmly believe that probably somebody like Jeff and Brad Rhynes and the Scruggs and Wesley Langdale would probably be willing to back some people like that. But they got to have faith in that person. I mean, they're not going to just say, okay, we'll help.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yes. Now listen,
it's just like the bank up there. The bank isn't going to help anybody unless they have some sort of business plan. And they proved themselves to the bank. You know, I mean, you got to start off small. First amount of money I ever borrowed was $300, and it took me a while to pay it back. I had to borrow $300 to pay my grocery bill because my wife was charging groceries at Hagen's grocery store on Bay Tree Road, and I didn't know it. And one day she said, "John, you need to go pay our grocery bill." And I went over there and I asked them what I owed them, and they told me, and I said, well, I ain't got that kind of money. I was still in school, working part-time. My wife was teaching school, making $3,000 a year and $250 a month at that time. So I had to go borrow $300 to pay my groceries. Well, I paid that back. Well, then the next time I went to borrow money, I could borrow a little bit more. And eventually, when I owned Print Show, I went to Bank of America up there and I said, I need a line of credit. I'm fixing to open a branch in Tallahassee. And they gave me a line of credit. And they never worried about me paying that, but you got to start off like that and you got to prove yourself.
Okay, now what we do have here, right now, what you do have a bank of contractors within your V-sale program.
That's right.
And you can look.
Last I heard, we had like 60 some
Yeah,
dollars.
well, why don't we looking at the V, other words, put the focus on the V-sale.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And the guys come in and see that it's beneficial to the V-sale, they more them join, then they go through the screening process. You have those that's, it's got its own filtering system anyway. So, have them look at measuring the potential of the contractor and have a sit down. And if they formulate some type of a group meeting at some point, and send it out in the papers and make a big thing out of it and get all the contractors. I guarantee you, if it says it's Langdale, Scrubs, and Rhynes, and those guys that come together and say they're willing to meet with contractors to expand contracts and opportunities, I guarantee you they'll come out the woodwork with it. I guarantee you that, and you'll see faces you've never seen before, and they will come out the woodworks just to come to be a part of that. Because they know now they got somebody, got some clout that is willing to give them an opportunity. You know, like they did the PCS, what it was, PP, the paper mill, the $400 million project. Okay. And when these guys, with the way they went about it, if you'd had this type of mechanism in place at that time, then it came out the woodworks and then that'll be the time to let them know what they need to get done to meet the criteria and what easements will be permitted and what will not be permitted. At least they have an opportunity to know. Man, I honestly, God believe you can make your city thrive, and I believe you can turn this entire economy completely around. Because there's so much work to be done here, that need to be done here, that it's just sitting idle now, okay? But I believe you can activate it. I'm serious.
Well, of course, I still say it's kind of like which comes first, the chicken or the egg, you know. And the person that you help has got to be available there.
Well, let me see, can I help you with that? You know, God didn't make a bunch of eggs, so He made the chicken.
That's right.
Okay, so now we know. So the chicken laid the egg. So by us being the ones that's already here, and you already in the position, and you done experienced life, give it your best shot. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And let me assure you of this. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I'm fair to everybody.
I believe that.
I mean, and of course,